So good evening, welcome to Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live in the Full Speed Event Studios. It's been an absolutely cracking week on the Donny Chaingang. We got riders from all over the place. I've been somewhere quite warm. As you can tell by the colour of my forehead, I have been absolutely cooked today. I've been the fortunate one because it's been cold. It's been so cold and so wet and snowy that Nonnas, our main sponsor, have actually had to shut early. Maybe it's the Italian blood. Maybe that is too thin for our northern climes. I don't think so. I know Mauricio is actually heading out. He's just bought some brand spanking new pasta. You'll be able to see it on the Nonna store. He's been outsourcing those fantastic ingredients that makes Nonna so special. And we got some great ingredients for a classic Donny Chaingang tonight because we have some returning riders. Beefy from Cycleways is back with us. We've got new riders due to join as well. I think a certain Mr. Morley and a certain Mr. Norman on his way through. And that's not Norman, don't confuse Norman who's riding with Norman, who his birthday it has been this week. That is young Master Norman Downing. So congratulations, first birthday. I know Russ has had a very busy weekend into the week, but Russ will be our leader on the Chaingang. Now, joining me in the studio, off camera, and technically over there, I might just about get a hand as a wave. There you go. Emma is kind of here. Get away. Go stay on your side of the studio. Emma's here with us, not on camera, because basically we've set the show up not to have Emma. And Emma has managed to finish work early and dive in and get into the show. So rather than panic, set a load of scenes up at lastminute.com that include Emma. She's on the mic, she's on the other end, and he's with us. So welcome, Emma. It's good to have you with us in the studio, Honest Gov. You're getting far too experienced and accomplished. Of course, we've been working really hard on the Sunday Race Club that we do joint commentary for, and it looks like we may be getting some good news. You never ever know. This is, of course, the one with $1 million prize fund that Emma and I are going to be commentating on again. However, tonight it's Donny Chaingang, and this is for something just as important, that is pride in here. So this is for you to see whether or not you can take on the Chaingang, whether you are a pro, should have been a pro, has been a pro, cheat like a pro, take your pick, one of all of the above. Emma, this is a new route for you as well, isn't it?
It is indeed. We are off to Scotland today, and I'm really looking forward to that, Matt. We're out on the rolling highlands, and one of the reasons I really wanted to be here tonight was to take a look at this route and to see how the Chaingang rolls in Scotland, because this is the first time we've been here.
Right, let's take a look. Russ is our man in here, so you can see this is Russ is Yellow Beacon. He is, of course, multi-time former national champion. He has a rider who's led already on this course and out into Scotland. Now, the route is pretty straightforward in that there's a long lead in. We make our way into the start finish, which is the Breakaway Bray Sprint. And you'll see the little joining road. We go down that every single lap. So we do the little lap and go down it. We do the big lap, go down it, and then we come back in to the start-finish line, which is a really tricky sprint finish in a tight left-hand turn. So long lead in, round the little loop, down the joiner, round the big loop, down the joiner, into the little loop, down the joiner. Simple?
I hope so.
We'll soon find out. Finish distance, 40.7. Breakaway Bray is the arch, and there is plenty of climbing, 335 metres. Now, let's show you where that is in a little bit. But before we do that, the man who's going to be mopping up at the back is the very experienced Greg Pillsworth. Lord Greg Pillsworth to everybody, but his friends, and even they call him Lord, just not Greg. So it is going to be Greg who's going to be doing the mopping up. Massive thank you to our Red Beacons. And now this is where he gets to see where he's likely to be doing the ticket punching for the red bus, because the fellow viewer graphic is absolutely key here. So the Rolling Highlands, essentially, or the start pennies at about the 6k marker. We go anti-clockwise round the loop to the start. Then from the start, it's little loop, down the joiner. As you can see now, it is down. We then turn right. We've got a massive, long, draggy, horrible climb all the way round the loop, going around the base, past the Velo Viewer graphic, climbing up to the 6K, and then dropping back down again. And there's a little nasty kicker that comes in and round, spirals round in the castle, before dropping back down the joining road, and then a climb to the finish. Velo Viewer graphic is what you need. Now, our riders should be lined up and ready to go. Let's take a dive across, and off they go. So let's jump in with the ride here on the Donny Chaingang, and hopefully the riders are going to be heading off. I'm just going to take a look. I'm hoping nobody's left in the pens. Everybody surely has set off on the way through. So just watching the riders make the way out from the start. Welcome to Scotland, home of the World Cycling Championships, with the exception of one or two. The XCE, the Mountain Bike Eliminator, and the Cyclocross World Championships, both of which are commentated on this year, are not going to be there. But I am looking forward to going to Scotland, where we have a packed schedule.
Yeah.
Can't say any more than that, can I, Emma? I'm not allowed.
But it is a very packed schedule, and the distances across Scotland for some of the events are really quite large. So moving between those events every day is going to be a really big challenge for some.
I suspect I'm likely to spend a lot of time in the BBC studios. Okay, Finn Davis. Finn, what are you doing, buddy? Get your skates on, mate. Finn's
look at that, getting
late.
skates on. 10.8 watts per kilo coming out to catch up. The option is always available for the first 30 minutes to drop out and then to rejoin the event. If you've got
Finn's far too quick to do that.
Yeah, but if you've got a technical difficulty, if you've got a challenge going on in the first 30 minutes, having that option to drop out and then rejoin the event, and then the fact that rejoin, as long as you are pedalling when you press rejoin, will drop you back into the main bunch on the group.
So we have at the moment Bolton from Sherfreck on his way steady away from the call coming from Russ. Really important this, because we have got to get on here. So the Finn Davis. Now, Finn Davis, this is the Finn Davis. Has Emma made the connection with living legend of the world of mountain bike, Tim Davis? There you go. Now you know why he's so blinking quick.
Yeah, well,
good genetics.
Well, I just thought it was because he was 15 and rode a bike, but you know.
Well, that also is. There's 15-year-olds that ride a bike, and there's 15-year-olds that ride a bike like Finn. Finn is something else. Right, through the castle we go, through the outskirts here. Nice to see a few crowds out as well.
They are. The crowds are really out today, aren't they?
They are now. Let's take a little bit of a run up. So one man who should know his way around the course backwards is Jimmy Mack. Jimmy, of course, will not recognise anything similar here. You can actually see the Scotland, the Glasgow crit circuit just on the top of your map, just rotating in and out, because this is an amazing bit of the wonders of Zwift, that you have the Glasgow crit circuit right next to something like out of Disney and Brave.
I was just a bit concerned there because someone said, did anybody else see Nessie? And I assumed Nessie wasn't actually living in Glasgow.
No, Loch Ness is absolutely
nowhere near Glasgow.
No, indeed. You need to listen to the crosscast if you think it is, which is due out. I don't actually know when that's going to come out, but the last edition, the very last crosscast of the 2022-23 season is due out. I'm hoping Neil's actually on the ride.
I was about to say, is Neil not on the ride? I'm sure if he is, he may put a comment in.
Neil's regularly putting comments in. Right, Greg Pillsworth, get this in your rear view mirrors because you've got him coming. It is the man. Hi, Neil. Neil is here. Neil, how are you doing with editing the show? It will have taken a lot of edits. There were a few bloopers from myself and one or two from Neil on the way through. It was a loose and fluid show, which is reflected in there. Not without controversy as well. It'd be interesting to see whether he's in there.
Well, I'm liking to see that our red beacon is now back with Finn, and whilst Neil continues to edit out the guff, he's taking a small break and pedalling his bike. But I think the red beacon's doing a cracking job here with Finn, and they're going to pick a few people up on the way on the run back into the group.
They are indeed. Now, we're just coming past the pass. If you turn left here, it gets very big, hilly, steep and nasty. So we're going to go straight on. What I actually find entertaining here is that we do the roundabouts on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You notice that? So we do the roundabouts on the right-hand side, but in Scotland, it should be on the left-hand side. Oh, the crosscast should be out tonight. Right, ladies and gents, you will know as much as I do whether or not I am going to find myself with a suspension from the crosscast due to a lack of impartiality. We'll see. There was a lot of controversy. We did kick a few buckets down the road, and I think if had Emma been on the edit, there'll be even more taken out as well. Now, look at that. Riding back in on the way in and through. There are lots of nasty little kickers on here. So a lot of people really finding this route for the first time. This is a route, though, that has something for everybody. Now, Mr. Little just being closed down as they come up to the back. Great work there by our Red Beacon. And we're just jumping in alongside Greg Pillsworth. Do you know what? This man has done the beacon duties more times than I care to remember, and he's doing an absolutely fantastic job. Thank you very much, Greg, once again, and to all of our beacons on the men's and the women's Donny Chaingangs. Without you guys, it just wouldn't be the same, and they do a lot of mopping up, a lot of bringing people in. So cheers, Red, from Finn Davis. Finn is very vocal about how the gang should run, and do you know what? I really love that. He's not short of, he calls a spade and shovel a shovel. He should be an honorary Yorkshireman, definitely, Finn Davis. And that's for sure. Oh, Travel's arrived. One of them is only in the house. That's Liam, just joining us. I guess there was a Tunnicliffe in as well. Wayne Barr is on. Wayne now. Wayne should know this inside out. Great to have Wayne on. Wayne has been doing some sterling work of picking up riders and bringing them back in. He did that last week. Now, I missed the Greater London Flat because we were rather busy, to put it mildly. But great to have him on in. Now, I am sure I have seen a certain Mr. Norman. Here we go. Early days. So, for those of you who maybe don't know this young man, we will see whether he's as fast as his avatar is. He's riding the correct bike. His team issue bike is one of these. He does indeed have a beard in real life. And the shades he's got on are better than the ones he has in his riding locker. That is for certain because he's got his Oakleys on tonight here. So we will see whether or not he can ascend the climbs here as fast as he goes up a ladder. As they make the way out on to the first part of the climb. This is our run into the finish. So this is in, close to home these roads for Wayne.
Yeah, but can Wayne tell us whether they are actually like riding those roads at home? A little bit like Joe Jarvis can tell us about Richmond, because she lives on the Richmond, or did live on the Richmond course.
Yes. I have to say, I have ridden a lot of roads in Scotland over the years because I'm an old gimmer. And I don't recognise the Scotland that I've ridden in this.
I was trying to be really polite.
What I recognise in this is watching Brave with my daughter and the Disneyfication of Scotland, because this is very Disneyfied, this world. That's my view of how it is. And it also rides as a very game-playing racing course. So there's a lot of gamification as well as there being a lot of Disneyfication in here.
Yeah, well, specifically launched for the Esports World Championships this year on Zwift, and put together specifically for that format. So no really long routes, all quite short in Scotland at the moment, and all doing something quite specific.
Yeah, definitely new roads for him on here. Town map is pretty bang on, so Jimmy. So Jimmy will also know. Jimmy, I know you don't live in Glasgow, though.
There are no midges.
There are no midges. Do you know what? That I'm
so
so not looking forward to.
Well, it's not May at the moment, is it? It's only March.
Yeah, but... So, Jimmy, Wayne, do I need industrial levels of smidge to come up for the World Championships in August? Or am I going to get away with this? Bearing in mind that I am going to be in Fort William, in Alethin, and in the central Glasgow. We will find out. Now, Left-hand turn. This is back down the joining road. This is our joining link road. So taking the left-hand turn. Some parts of the climb are similar to Duke's Pass. Yeah, for sure. Defo need the smidge. Right, industrial supplies. Going to be heading in. Okay. You'll be okay, but not in Fort William. Eaten alive in Fort William. Yeah, that... I'm trying not to go. I'll be brutally honest, because the volume of travel time versus broadcast time is not a good ratio. A bit like, when you're riding on with the group and you think, I need a certain amount of time at the front and a certain amount of time in the bunch. I have a certain amount of time I want to be at venue versus broadcast time and versus travelling. And this is one of those wonders we're going to be finding when we go up to Scotland. However, we're here virtually at the moment and making our way in and across. And to the right. Oh, there's Nessie. Whoa! Try and get a view. Look, there you go. Top right.
Ah, okay. That took me a little while there to work out what Nessie was. It looks more like a diplodocus. I'd never really thought of Nessie as a diplodocus.
Well, sort of like a seaborn diplodocus is often
a much
the...
longer neck, because you get like those multiple waves of Nessie in the photo, don't you?
They're quite eel-like, aren't they?
Yeah.
Somebody once said it was a sturgeon, which is just the wrong shape.
Oh no,
totally.
completely wrong shape.
Yeah. Sturgeon, not... Sturgeon, not surgeon. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's interesting to see now, actually. We've had a couple of late joiners, Matt, and we're currently at 102 on this evening.
Yeah. And do you know what this means? What is critical about getting to 102?
Well, it actually means that the front of the pack cannot see everybody at the back of the pack, because there's two riders they won't be able to see.
Indeed. So they will see the red beacon. Looks more like Crystal Palace dinosaurs. 100%, Matt Nunn. I would agree totally. Mr. Taylor in North East Scotland, cycling Nirvana, mountain bike and road. It is. I absolutely, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love riding in Scotland. I am absolute addict for the mountain bike course, and will tell you how big the smile is on my face whenever we go up to Glen Tress and Leithin.
Oh gosh. The first time Matt went up to commentate at Glen Tress, I got a phone call when he was about 10 miles out in the van telling me that he practically wanted to move up there.
Yeah, I would have done it, apart from the midges and the cold and things like that. My family left around. Now, okay, heading in and along the base on the way through. The question tonight, Matt, is are you going to break out any Phil Collins tunes? I better do a Phil Collins tunes. I've missed that one. Why Phil Collins? Don't know. Don't know. That's a very good question. The answer is no, can't do tunes. Do you know why we can't do tunes? Because we get taken off air by Facebook and YouTube. Unless it's not rights protected, as our music is. Right, on the way up here. So Young Loss has got a full Enduro outfit delivered today now that she's living in Stirling. Excellent. So just seeing the back of the group, just keeping a check. Yeah, how can you expect Matt to know jokes from Tuesday? Yeah, I wasn't there, but guys, I wasn't watching. Well, we are in trouble. Tom Mazzoni's chat is working. I thought we were going to be lucky, and it wasn't. Right, which one is this? Is this Morgan? It's Morgan Lloyd. Matten has more sense than to come on Donny Chaingang without socks. That's how you know the difference. Basically. It's true. Dangerous coming on here without socks. Can't be too long, can't be too short.
Sockgate.
Sockgate again. Don't. You guys got better things to think about.
Than socks.
Yeah.
Though I have to say, there's really good choices of socks at the moment.
On the ride or in real life?
Oh, in real life. Socks seems to have like exploded in options.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could do some new. I need some gritty socks. Senior for gritty on here. I've seen Stefano in here. Stefano! Buongiorno!
Stefano, he has just waved at you to the screen.
I
He
did. I waved
indeed.
at the
He
screen.
has just
It's true.
waved at your avatar.
Hi. Hang on. It's true. Hi, buddy. Great to see you. Look, you see, I'm waving. It's
He's
true.
waving back.
There you are. Exactly. It does happen. I've lost the ride now. There we go. The ride's back. I'm in a good mood. I mean, do you know I'm in a good mood? Because it's not going to be long before we go back to the UK and I get to go to Nonna's.
Ah,
I know.
there's always a silver lining. I'm not quite sure.
I think it's a snow-covered lining at
Well,
the
I
moment.
was about to say it's been 17 degrees and sunny here, interspersed with some rain today. Very, very different to what I understand is going on in Sheffield at the moment. So, weather-wise, we've definitely had the better day, I think.
We have, and we dodged the thunderstorms, although it was entertaining being up a ladder in a thunderstorm with it all around. So on the ridges and the mountains and the woods all around me, there were lots and lots of bits of lightning and thunder striking and rain coming down. I think Matt misses Stefano. I do, Tom, I honestly do. Do you know what? Because the welcome is so big when you go to Nonna's, and that's true for everybody on the way through. Now, this, Emma, is the start of our long drag. That's not me on a Saturday night. That is this bit of the course coming in. It's basically a steady long drag up to the roundabout, and then we continue onwards. Fortunately, we don't turn right, but the views here are absolutely stunning. It is a great part of the course.
Yeah, it is indeed, Matt. But the gradient is not particularly steep, and it's going to be interesting to see if any of these gradients and I was going to call them more undulations rather than climbs.
Yes.
Pay much of an outcome really to the event this evening.
Yes, is the answer, because there's two places where this is really going to count. One, coming in through the footward spin and the spiral is, if you can sprint, you can get up there. Two, the climb, this long drag, actually will take its toll when everyone's on the limit and it will split people off the back. But more importantly, the finishing climb is actually really nasty. So it's no good if you haven't got much power. Now, Russ is just disappeared backwards at a rate of knots. Oh, good to see we've got Claire Jessup on. Claire was on the Chaingang last night as well, you know.
Yep, and I think Tracy's in here as well, isn't she? I think I've seen Tracy this evening again on the Wild ECG last night. And I think Foxy's in here too.
So, hang on. So that means we've got a yellow beacon from last night in here. Jump back in. Russ is going to come back on. Ah! Another man I've been missing. Beefy from Cycleways. Colin.
There you go.
Good to see you, Colin. Good to see that you're wearing exactly the same kit as when you left as well. He hasn't had a phone box style transformation. He's got the big beard. It's looking good. No, Tom, that is not the finish. We would have told you so. The finish is at the Breakaway Bray. And Breakaway Bray is somewhere else. No, yeah, I love Jimmy Allen going for the sledging.
Yes,
Tom.
Be careful, Tom, of whatever Jimmy Allen is telling you. It may not always be the truth.
It is technically yes, no, maybe. No, 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 no.
First rule of DCG, know where the finish line is.
Yeah.
No, that's the second rule. First rule, stay around yellow.
Second rule is don't panic.
Third rule, know where the finish is.
Yeah. This is my favourite part of the course here. Do you know why? Because you've climbed up and you've got this lovely screaming little downhill run in here. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Here we go. Descending. Descending. Speed building. Get quicker. This is why I love this bit. It's downhill. It's 5% downhill.
I tell you, this is planned to be the team time trial course for the final third round of the ZRL finals this month, and this is going to be a tricky team time trial course.
Yeah, wait till you see this bit. This is mega. This is even better, actually. Getting all excited. Good job of not riding. Here we go. Over the bridge. This is the run-in to the castle, over the bridge, and look at the ramp that's coming up now. Look at this. 6%. 7%. 8. Taking the right-hand turn. 9. I can count. 8. But keep watching. We spiral around. And look at what the road does. It continues round and upwards. It's one of the most entertaining spirals on Zwift. It's better than one in Mercury Island, if only because the scenery is better. And I am biased.
Well, it is a nice little section of road, isn't it? Because it does seem to kick and then it drops a little and then you're still on that turn. So now levelling off quite nicely. But as you say, a really scenic section, but also quite a nice little section in terms of thinking about racing rather than thinking about time trialling.
Definitely. And if you see here, it's now minus 1%, so we are a long way up, as you can see by the drop over the side. It's very precipitous as you look over the edge. However, we now drop back down and in. We do a right-hand turn down the descent, and then we do a left, and then the climb to the finish. So that is the penultimate climb in the lap. And then guess what? We're going to go down the joining road again. Told you. Every time, down the joining road. Down the join. Hope the joins are smoother than the gutters on the barn. That's all I can say. Had to take them up today. That's today's useless fact of information for everybody. Liam was only, not Scotland, this.
No, it's Zwift.
This is welcome to
Too dry.
Sweat. Yeah, it is. Have you not had Scottish humour? I tell you. So down we go, left-hand turn. This is the run for the finish. We'll
Mr. Lindley, are you listening?
On the way through. When we get to the top, I tell you what, we've been in with Beefy for a long time. We've almost done a lap with Beefy. It's unheard of. Who should we pick on next? Neil from Gritty. Hello, Neil. He's in the black there. So here we go. This is the run into the finish. And then you've got this little kicker. 2, 3, and up to 5. Very quickly indeed, up to 5. 6% again. 7% again. And then it levels out. 4, 5, 4, 3, down again. And then you swing round this right-hand turn. And look what's in front. Another little drag. So it goes to 0% on the corner. And then another kick, which goes up. And at 3%, and moving to 4, you've got to get up to the flags. The archway in is as it starts to level, and you can see the gantry. That's the finish line, ladies and gents. That is the finish line. That is the finish line. I've said it enough now.
I think, yes.
Tom Lindley. Finish line. Matt Nunn. I agree. 3. I think so too. I agree. Matt Nunn, our official, unofficial timekeeper, stroke lapboard man. Oh, so they've changed the music after all of the feedback. They've now finally got rid of the brass band.
Were they not bagpipes?
No, there was a brass band.
No.
Yes.
I just assumed the bagpipes were just Scottish.
Bagpipes are indeed Scottish, but it was a brass band playing previously.
Oh, well, I'm pleased to hear the bagpipes are piping in the background.
They are indeed, and they are quite tuneful bagpipes. I've heard some great bagpipes.
I have a friend who plays the bagpipes. He lives in Wales. He's English, lives in Wales, and plays the bagpipes.
Look, it's okay. You can have as many personalities as you want. This is a modern world these days. You can be any gender.
It has been known.
I identify as a thin person, and he plays the bagpipes. It's
well,
fine.
He has been known to take them to, how should we say, gatherings. Gatherings. And when everybody's had far too much to drink of an evening and all crash out, to bring them out at 6:30 in the morning and happily wake everybody up.
I would probably use the word that I used on Wednesday's TCG if I'm not careful here. For that, right. Whilst we're chatting away and watching our riders go, guess what, down the link road and take the right-hand turn. Didn't know I was French, Matt. Yeah, Only on a bad day. On a good day, 2. Multilingual.
It's a good rolling bunch tonight, though, isn't it?
It
Look
is.
at that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Ooh,
Jesse
Jesse
Yates
Yates.
off the back here.
Yes,
Greg
indeed.
Pillsworth with Claire Jessup off the back. There's been some shedding of bodies.
Well, it's an interesting course, isn't it? Because other than that really small, and I'm going to say small kicker, the gradient is actually one where there is a lot of draft on this course. And with a pack of 106 riders motoring, you know, even at 2.5 watts per kilo, that is some pace. You know, we're here with Red Beacon, and the Red Beacon at the moment is doing 45 kph, so I don't want to think about what the pack is doing at the moment. So whilst the riders are riding a steady pace, the actual kph of the pack is really, really high.
It is, and you can see the front of the group is actually broken up here, and there are bodies out the back. I think what you'll find is that this course, it's a great racing course, because it's not overly hard. It produces fast racing.
Yeah.
It feels incredibly quick to ride. It feels like whether it's the rolling resistance or the type of the roads. When I go to Scotland, I don't find that I ride super fast on the roads.
Do you find that the tarmac sucks at your tyres?
I find it a little draggy on the tyres, I must admit. And it's not just because I'm fat and unfit before anybody says so. What I find, it's not necessarily the fastest roads. It makes you incredibly strong. Don't get me wrong. It really does. But I do not find it feels fast. This feels absolutely super duper quick. It feels like somebody's lit a rocket.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was so Mary Poppins.
What?
Super duper quick.
It is super duper quick. Super duper duper quick. It's really, really fast. I find it rides and feels quick. Oh, getting into night time, you'll see the Northern Lights in a minute. There you go. Emma's dream. Right, if anyone can make this come true, get in touch. That told you Disney for blinkincation. Welcome to Brave. I was a wee girl and we were out and watching them coming by, the wee fairies. I mean, seriously, guys. Somebody's been watching. I love the film. Bit of a Brave addict. Love it.
Yes,
it's great. Not as much as I like Tangled, though. Here we are. Guilty Secrets. However, don't really need. I mean, I know it's full of legends and stories and things, but flipping heck.
I was just expecting Outlander to happen. All the riders disappear off and they go back like 400 years.
Is that Outlander?
Yeah.
Okay. I can never remember the name of all the TV shows that you watch. Apart from...
It's a book I've read, actually. The TV show came from a book.
Oh, right, okay. Those things with pages in.
The things with pages in, yeah.
Right, okay. That's now been replaced by iPads. Right, Greg Pillsworth, our beacon. The bus on its way. I'm sure I heard a train. There is meant to be a Harry Potter-esque train somewhere as well. Although I've never seen it yet.
I think we have a nice little bus form in here.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a cracking bus. You got Stefano, you got Claire, and Greg Pillsworth. All aboard! Ding ding!
I was going to
Fair
say,
please.
That would be quite an interesting dinner party, actually. I think we should all go round to Nonna's with
Claire,
Claire, Stefano, and Greg.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Should we go? Let's leave now. We might just make it in time for the snow melting. Right. The gang is on the climb. The bus has formed. Yeah, Greg Pillsworth's like all for it.
He's up for that.
Well, I tell you what, if you remember the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club this month, guess what? 20% discount.
Yeah, well worth it.
20% discount off at Donna's. I go there even if they charge me 20% more. Don't tell Stefano.
It's so true, but also some giveaways coming towards the end of the month, I think, Matt.
Yes, last week in the month of March, Italian Classics. And I'll tell you what, the Tirreno Adriatico is absolutely superb at the moment. Sorry, I've just had a message come through. Total distraction from Colin Bell. Colin, don't send me messages like that on Facebook whilst we are on here. I am going to show Emma the message, however.
Honestly.
There you go. So, anyway, we're on the climb. It is moving on the way through Tirreno Adriatico. What a ride! What a race! What finishes! Great. If you've not seen it,
No
watch
spoilers.
it. No spoilers. If you've not been watching Paris-Nice, watch it. It's amazing, astounding, brilliant, great racing. But it is classic season as well. So we have Strada Bianchi. Absolutely stunning stuff. We also, of course, have got Milan-San Remo coming up. We have lots of the classic stuff. A lot of our riders will absolutely adore watching coming through. Make sure you're on there. I might actually go out and see an in-real-life bike race on Sunday.
Careful.
I'm still waiting to be able to persuade Emma to drive there so I can ride there.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one before.
No,
nice of you to throw that at me whilst the microphone is live.
Well, I've got half a chance. There you are, Em. This is as near as you're going to get. If anybody can fulfil Emma's dream of seeing the Northern Lights, not in Sheffield and on the Peak District, although she's not even managed that.
Well, I can't believe we came to France and you could see the Northern Lights from where we were living in the UK.
But Northern Lights, Emma would like to see the Northern Lights, please.
I know, it's on my bucket list.
There's not many things on your bucket list.
No, there's not many things
It's
on
a
my bucket
little-
list at all.
Do you know what your bucket's
It's
like? Those
like-
little buckets
well,
you
those
get
you
given
take-
at the sand for making
Sandcastles.
sandcastles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of thing that you're going to need. It's not like a big bucket that's going to, drag around a pail of milk in or anything like that, are you?
No, not at all.
Just done something very weird with the show, but anyway, I think we're rolling okay.
It's interesting, isn't it? Look at that stretch now on the group as we start on this section here. We are really motoring, and that group really starting to stretch and get a tail now.
Like a cow? Or like a comet?
I was thinking a little bit more comet-esque.
Highland cattle-like. What's the similarity between the Eastern Moors and Scotland? They're full of Highland cattle. There you go.
Derbyshire in Scotland.
Great places. Both great places. Right. Heading for the climb. Russ, if you eat haggis whilst you're riding, you ain't going to be blowing. You're going to be flipping way down. I like haggis. Do you like haggis?
I can honestly say I've never had haggis.
You what? Have you never had haggis?
No, and I've never had a deep-fried Mars bar either.
Oh, I've had a deep-fried pizza too.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Anyone looking forward to MTB deep-fried Mars bar? There you are, from Chris. Don't think it's going to make it onto Donna's menu.
Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine? There's a challenge for you. Can you get something onto the Nonna's menu that's a deep-fried something or other? Oh, looks like our avatar is very bored on the start line going nowhere. Right, so Stefano is going to have a spin in, and thank you very much for coming in and joining us. And I've got to say a massive thank you to all of the team at Nonna's for supporting cycling for so long, doing an amazing job, and look forward to going down. Don't forget, jump on the website. Jump on board if you fancy going out and riding on those same roads, those Tuscan roads. Casa Nonnas is in there. Members, you are going to be in there, so check it out. Now, seeing bodies start to lose contact on the way through. Stefano said it's his pleasure. No, it's entirely us, I'm sure. So we head in towards the spiral. Looks like Beefy being dropped here. Turnover of Summit Cycles just losing touch. Woodward doing the same. Finn Davis just on board in here. So Colin says, go on, see you, she's it, mate. Ride on through. You've got the red beacon behind you. Greg Pilsworth is in there. But look at the pace. You can see that he's working his way back into the gang. And Greg Pilsworth with Claire Jessup. Finn Davies just making his way back into the mass of riders with 33 minutes in. Now, quick reminder for people, this is due to finish at 40.7. We are currently 33 minutes into the ride and we've done 21k.
Yeah, 21 and a half. Never forget the half.
Well, yeah, if we keep waiting, it'll be 21.6. There you go. Now it's 22k. Pedant. I don't know. live with pedants. It's dangerous.
Oh, you live with a detail person.
Yes.
Anyway, what were you going to say about the distance?
We're about halfway-ish.
Over.
We are over halfway, 34 minutes in. Could be quite quick tonight to say there is 366 metres of climbing. It doesn't feel like it, and that would reinforce that this rolls very quickly. That the gamification has got itself on some kind of assistance on the way through. Magic assistance. Maybe it's fairy dust.
Yeah, but fast is fun.
Fast is indeed fun. I like courses where you can ride fast. I don't want to go. If you want to go ride in the real world, go ride in the real world. If you want to go ride fast and go have fun, jump on Swift and go ride one of the really fast courses. That's one of the reasons I like Watopia as well. Elevation and average speed don't match here. Mason, you need to talk to Emma. You need to talk stats. Or Neil. Neil from the Crosscast, from Gritty, is a stats and engineering addict. Right, on our way up the climb to the finish. Once again, I'm hoping to be able to land on the one and only, the unofficial, Mr. Dunn. Matt Nunn on his way through. A man who knows how to operate a lap pod. Regular worker on the Tour of Britain. Tour of Britain, of course, for men, taking a little bit of time to come to us, but should be out with us very shortly. Of course, Tour Series taking a break. Right. Stop rolling the front on the hills. Yeah, it is a bit like breaking the group every time we go through. So here we go. Underneath, it says it on the top of your screen. So you go underneath the words finished. 2 to go from Matt Nunn.
He's on the ball.
He's on the ball. He's on the ball. Do you remember that? No. Weren't into football, were you?
No.
If I drift back, do I get the entire tune? Just think I drift back. Let's see. So good to see you, Henry Fuller, back with us on the gangways again. I think just chasing Keith Richards here. Keith in the retro kit. Most appropriate on his way up here.
Another retro kit that we have at home.
Yeah. We do have quite a few in the UK.
Yes.
Correction. Brad Moore, he was on the ball. Bobby Moore. Brad Moore's commentator. Right. Ghost okay here. Mr. Mason with Ghost. I tell you what, it's a long way north from Mason's house to Scotland. Are you coming up, Gareth? Are we going to see your svelte-like figure weaving its way around Scotland at the championships? That'd be interesting to see him. A Welshman in Scotland. Welshman from London in Scotland. I wonder if he plays the bagpipes too. Look, there's Nessie.
Yes. Still doesn't look like Nessie.
Well, nobody knows what Nessie looks like. Let's check in on Cam. He's doing all right. How are your arms, mate? Bet they're sore. In joke in the in France. Cameron, of course, French pro rider.
Oh, he's coming up to do an in real life DCG.
Oh, are you really?
Oh, you'll have to let us know when and which one.
Yes. Finn, I saw you at the World Cyclocross Championships. Yes, and I saw you, and you didn't see me because I waved and you didn't wave back.
He did see you because he's just told you he saw you.
But he didn't see me when I waved.
Oh, right.
I did, Finn. I promise you, I'll wave, buddy.
Yeah, Finn, message Matt next time and do a coordinated wave at each other.
I did it with the Carrick Andersons. We were messaging on WhatsApp, having a conversation on WhatsApp whilst I waved out the commentary box. There you go. It was good to see the gang out there. I did actually see some people in real life and actually say hello.
You were on the phone.
Mate,
Finn, that's very regular.
I was checking up on my social media. I wasn't probably. I was probably getting the messages from the team because we do use the WhatsApp as a primary means of communication within the world of remote commentary. Yeah. Let's have a little look. Groups kind of got whittled down, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's a few riders, as you can see, on that top right-hand corner, just distance off the back there. It looks like we've got groups of 1s and 2s and a little patch forming together, so a small group forming together back there by the look of that graphic up there as well. So if you get dropped, find some riders around you and don't have a lonely run in. Find a group.
No, don't. You might
together.
get mysteriously sent back in time if you're solo.
Find a group, work together. That's the aim of the Chaingang.
Or the big scary bear might take you and eat you. Oh, that's brave, isn't it?
There'll not be a wolf in Scotland.
No, it's bear. No, bears in Scotland. Yeah, and wolves, but bears too. Yeah. Matt Wood on his way back. Mr. Turner from Summit just behind. Guys, find a group. Chris James. Chris, you've got Beefy. Not all that far. Beefy's going to be motoring his way along. We've got Claire Jessup and Greg Pillsworth in here. Stefano Borelli tucked in there, working well. We're going to take a little run straight back across to the leaders. Oh, look, the magic fairy dust has gone. Oh, sad face.
That's because they've time travelled.
Oh, they've already done it.
They've already done it.
I'm going to go.
Oh!
And the go has gone. The go has gone bang on 40 minutes. Emma just nearly jumped.
I did.
It's a good job this studio's made out of tough stuff here, I tell you.
Oh, here's go. And
Here
the
we
colours
are.
are going orange, Matt. We're seeing some big kicks coming out here. The pack at the front are digging in deep and they are moving fast.
I tell you what, Sean Ferron, what's Sean on tonight? He's absolutely flying.
Well, he's gone.
He's not go. He's go. He's putting an immense kick in there. Right, we're in with Lindley. Tom, you and yes, he is. Look, he's got out of his Jimmy Allen-esque kit. We used to have Tony Fawcett at the mountain bike. Someone was talking about mountain bike earlier on. And we used to have Tony Fawcett at the mountain bike and the cross, who was a Nick Craig body double. Lindley, I think, is going for the Jimmy Allen body double. He's going to have to learn to shave first, though. Right, Dale Williams tucked in here. The man with the best donuts on his jersey of the entire ride. In fact, the only person with any donuts on his jersey in the entire ride. Looks like Russ in here. Russ tucked in nicely. And interesting place for it to go, because guess what? Guess where we're heading? Big, long, skanky drag coming up, but fairly shortly.
Well, talking about
Skanky,
a drag,
there you
Matt,
go.
the group have really stretched, and that go. Whilst we're still seeing quite a large bunch at the front there, we've got a massive tail on this group now.
We have indeed. Look at this. This is Group 2 who are in here. Let's get the drone up. This might be a better way to keep an eye on our riders here. So Paul Mallin, Tracy's in here. Rich Langme, Vin Donahoe in a bit further back, actually. He's in trouble. It looks like Raccoon Low in trouble as well. Rab's in here. You can see we've got Rab on board. Just continuing to push. Rab should know his way into the wheels here. So this is the push in. Big push. I tell you what, it's going to be quick on the front. There's going to be some people taking their time out there today. Now, next group behind. They're not that far behind. You can see Paul Coleman's in here. Some Rodney in as well. Looks like we've got Vin on the front of this group. Raccoon's in here. That's Andy Watson as well. Let's drop a little bit further back, because this is going to be the group with Foxy in. Foxy, our beacon from last night.
Yeah.
On that pink Pinarello with the Rave Team kit on here. And I think Daisy Freer is with her. She is. Great to see Daisy back on the Chaingang once again. Daisy, of course, winner of the WOW DCG before now.
Yeah, she had a fantastically timed attack off the front of the WOW DCG a few weeks ago to take that win. So good to see Daisy out and about on the Thursday DCG.
Indeed it is now. Carl Johnson with Mr. Wallace. Then I think Marco Barrio in company there. And I think, is that Jimmy Allen? Jimmy, are you suffering from snow, Jimmy? Jimmy Allen is here. Looks to me like the wolf doesn't like it when it gets cold, because he's at the back of the group. What's going on? I'll tell you what, he's in good company though, because he's in with Bobby Mason, one of the nicest guys in cyclingever.com, full stop, etc. in that. Because we've got Nick Rudkin in as well. Callum Craven there, Mark Grant, Keith Hayward, Keith Richards, Mr. Turner and Woodward, James and Jessup, and looks like Pilsworth and Borelli. So the gang are moving well at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you, there's some good pace coming out of that Red Beacon group at the moment. Greg Pilsworth and Claire Jessup have moved really strongly up that climb, and they are going really well.
They are indeed. Let's dive across to the front. Looks like we've got a breakaway, lone breakaway. Ryan Williams has gone for this. And as they come back past the pens, so coming in back past the pens and making the way in and through there. So looking very interesting. We've still got a long way to go to the finish, remember?
Yeah, 13k still to go, so this attack is really early from Williams. Williams putting the power down, but it's Finn Davis on the front of the chase group behind.
It is, and Keith Richards and Simon Warren right up there as well. And look at the speed of this group coming up behind. Ryan Williams is going to see them coming. Think you're going to need a bigger boat, mate. Here they come, sweeping him up on the way through. It's like the gang in here. Just seen Mazzoni in there. Looks like Norman in here as well. Ryan, unlucky with that. Looks like he's not going to make it. We're dropping down here, coming into our spiral climb here. Let's see how they're going. It's on the run up into the kicker. So let's keep a check. Let's see. Only testing the legs from Ryan.
Well,
we love a bit of sledging.
Got to check that his legs are working for later.
What you mean later? We're on to the climb now. This is the spiral climb.
Yeah, well, it might well be the spiral climb, but there's still around.
Another attack,
12.
another attack. Attack it. Here we go. Another move. It's going to be who's gone. I'm trying to get up to the front here. It's Jesse Yates. Oh, good man. Look at this. Jesse Yates has gone for it. He's gone on that spiral climb. I tell you what, he's absolutely rocketed. This could be the selection made behind. Look at the damage he's done.
That was a big effort. That was a big 10, 15-second effort coming out of Yates there to put that gap in. And he's absolutely decimated the field behind. Malin and Crawley and Varty are the three riders chasing. Fat Cyclist is in there as well with Oliver, but that's still daylight behind Jesse Yates.
And he's going to turn it into this descent, and that he has put them all at 6s and 7s behind. It's blazing sunshine in Scotland, and it's blazing down on an absolutely scorching performance from Jesse Yates. He's really making them work hard behind. We're just trying to track back and keep an eye back from Yates here as we come around these turns. Remember, we are about to head out and go across. So there's some serious big digs going in, up, taking the left-hand turn. This is going to be the run up in towards the finish. When we get to the line, how many laps to go, Em? Don't wave your arms. Do the maths, woman. 1. Don't stick your finger up at me. It's very impolite.
1 lap to go when you get to the finish gantry.
Right. Sure about that?
Yes.
9k in the lap, just about.
Absolutely, and Yates is kicking again and kicking up this climb up to about 7% at the moment, but the pack, there's still a large chasing pack coming, and there's some high numbers coming out of that chasing pack now.
Jimmy Mack on the chase here, so the former national career champion, as well as being the coach as well for the TCA, the Cycling Academy. Jimmy Mack on the ascent. I bet he wish he could climb like this when he was racing. There he goes, up into towards the line. It's 1 lap left to go. 1 lap left to go as the leaders go in underneath that finishing gantry. 1 more lap to go. Now, look at this. Lindley has gone across the gap here. And I think this group are going to need to sort themselves out pretty sharpish here. Who's in the group? It's a select group of riders now. Who is in here? Looks like Booker has made the selection. He's in this group at the minute. I think we're going to have Hawkins in here, Sam Emsley in, Josh Mayland from Halo, our sponsors and supporters as well. Isaac Oliver making the selection. Finn Davis in here. And then just trying to keep a check on these riders coming through. Has Neil from the Crosscast made the selection with this group? He's in and around. Looks like, is that Cameron Norman still in there? Nick McDermott, Simon Booth, Tom Hanger. It's going to be off the back of this group. So that is still a big, monstrously big group in front.
36 riders still in that group, you know, Matt. So it is indeed still a big bunch, and they are moving really quick through this course. The couple of attacks going on the front there have not really done a huge amount of split damage to this group. So still those 36 riders all as one bunch at the front.
Do you know what? The fact that Nessie's an inflatable. It's just wrong.
You can't.
Anyway, let's get back to the races. Sorry. So here we go. Let's take a check on the riders. Neil from the Crosscast and from Gritty is indeed on board. Do you know what I love? The fact that Gritty support the Chaingang. They're here. You've got Stefano here from Nonners. You've got the guys in as well. The group all working the way in and up to the front here. They're trying to keep on going, so let's see how they keep on going. Mazzoni still able to produce the BS while still doing the pedaling. It's quite intense. I'll tell you something, that man has some... He can talk better than we can non-stop. Now, I'll tell you
Well,
something.
I can never get how they can continue to type and ride at this pace.
There's this wonderful thing called a dictation app.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, but they maybe Russ types.
I'm old school. Russ and I are old school.
You are. You're also regular beacons and know exactly what it's all this together.
Finn Davis.
Yeah, disgusting language for one so young. Apologies. It is a family show now. Lego, loving it. Lego on there from Jesse Yates. Yeah, loving it. Clunky joint time. And now Greg Booker is in here. Is Greg going to be able to spring away here? Emsley's tucked in. Russ in as well. Now let's keep a check. Russ just keeping it smooth there. See, Russ' sock height is absolutely spot on. Not too long, not too short. Oh, we've seen some twitchiness now.
I was just thinking it looks like it's getting a bit twitchy on the front now. Finn Davis is pushing on. We've got 9 watts per kilo coming out of Finn Davis. Yates is still got that gap. Look at that, another gap there.
He just opens it up. Did you ghost off the front there, young Jesse Yates? Was that
I think maybe
the case that we saw a ghost in action, or didn't see the ghost in action, shall we say? Now Dale Williams is chasing Finn Davis, Simon Oxenham, Josh Mayland, Isaac Oliver, Greg Booker. It's going to be Miller from Fusion, from just down the road where we are in the UK, as the riders come up here. And it looks to me like Dale Williams is the rider who's trying to bridge across here. So this is Williams, who is in no man's land at the moment.
Well, you say that, Matt, but Yates has put another dig in. Yates continuing to put the digs in above 8 watts per kilo. Williams at about 4.5 is not really pushing on enough.
He isn't. He's just completed his weekly distance. He's about
I'll tell you
to
who
get
is
caught.
digging, and it's Russ. Our yellow beacon is seriously kicking. He's the one who wants to come across now. So Russ down in our yellow beacon is the one putting
Come
out
on,
more
Russ.
than 10 watts per kilo to close this gap. Come on.
He's not close. And do you know what he's doing? He's going across to Yates. Jesse Yates and Russ Downing on
It's a match made in heaven.
It's Yates and Downing. We've gone back in time. And look at this. They're on the way up. You're talking about going back in time. We've got a Yates and a Downing on the front here. Remember, both these riders have ridden together, but Russ rode with his dad, of course. Now, let's take a look behind. This is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons behind. They are going to know that you've got 2 really dangerous riders out on the front. They need to respond here. I think Russ just sat on the wheel of Yates after kicking across. Is going to mean that they're going to get pulled back.
Well, I don't know about that. You say that, but he's going to kick on and come past now and do a turn on the front. So drafting off of Yates and then pushing on. Well, closing the gap indeed.
Now this is where they've got to keep that distance. Can they do so? If you look behind them, Russ going out, I'm not surprised. Now Linley is the rider who is trying to get across. Can Linley springboard across? He won't want to bring everybody across with him. It looks like Lindley's going to join him now. Yates, Lindley, and Downing are going to be our 3 riders on the front here. And now another joiner. This time it's Rob Varty who springs across as the gap diminishes more and more riders are taking the opportunity as they come through, and this time it is Varty who has gone clear. We are just coming around this long right-hand turn, but they are now being closed back down again, and I think it is going to be Mazzoni who is going to spoil the party at the front for these 4 riders. Here they go now. The group are coming. Are we going to see a proper counter-attack? Jimmy Mack goes across. Is he going to go out the front? He has. Jimmy has sprung it. Here he goes. Now, Jimmy Mack, what a move by Jimmy, the tactician at work here. Great to see him spring clear.
And that's Lindley trying to close that gap down. So it's Lindley who's making the distance and pushing on, but I'm not sure he's going to make it.
I am not sure he's going to make it. This is very, very interesting. Behind, the groups are springing out and then coming back together again. But at the moment, it's Jimmy Mack, then Tom Lindley, Darren Miller, Mason, the fat cyclist, Dale Williams, all in the mix. Finn Davis, Josh Mayland, Thomas Zodi, 80 Dench tucked in there. 80 just noticeable by being that a little bit quieter. And as they come up to the roundabout, Jimmy Mack is going to go flying around this roundabout turn here. As they go flying up, here we go. Now it comes around that left-hand turn. It is Jimmy Mack who is leading this out at the moment. But Jimmy Mack has got work to do to stay clear to the end here. You've got Lindley behind him who's coming up. Personally, I'll be letting Lindley get on those wheels and the pair of them will work together. They've got the pack chasing behind. Come on, Jimmy.
Come on, they've got just over 3 kilometres now to go to that finish line, and Lindley is closing that gap, and a ghost goes in, and you can't see him anymore. Wow, what timing for that!
That's going to make things very, very difficult indeed. He's somewhere. Oh, there he comes back. He pops back in once again. Now, are we going to see a Scottish winner on the very first Donny Chaingang in Scotland? This is where it's going to count. Can they nail this as they go through? This is going to be a big, big question mark as they come round. Well, this is the descent into the spiral turn, the penultimate climb. As you come in to the finish, the pack has the advantage, and it looks to me like they are going to try and close this down. Look at this. Jimmy Mack has gone. I don't think this group are interested in closing on Jimmy and on Lindley, only to get sprinting clear.
Well, it's
somebody
coming
else.
Down.
Oh, it's coming, isn't it now? Would you put money that Jesse Yates has still got something left in the tank? I would.
I think that's a fair bet.
Can Mason sprint his way over these hills? Is that going to be what we're going to see? We're going to see Finn Davis go for an attack. Isaac Oliver, he's been quiet. Isaac, got to be one of those riders who we know could be in with a chance of pushing on as this goes. I think there's going to be some sore legs at the end of this tonight. So here we go. In towards the climb. Keep an eye. This is the big kick time. It's kick time, and now look at this. You've got Mason, 13.5 watts per kilo off. Mason is a huge number. As he goes up here, Mason is trying to spring this clear, but everybody was wise to that move. Varty, Davis, Oxenham, Yates is coming as well. Yates is up. Look at the numbers, 14.5 watts per kilo from Yates. Where did Yates find that from? There's a reason he's such a pro. I tell you something, this kid is absolutely flat. I can say that I'm 50. I'm not as old as his dad, but I'm not far off. He's absolutely flying here. And he's got the descent. Can he get this to the finish, though? Booker has gone after him. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Mazzoni's sat tucked down there. He was resting right-hand turn. Down this descent, left-hand turn. And then we've got the run for the finish. Ryan Williams, Isaac Oliver, Josh Mayland. They're all in the mix. This is the run for the finish. We are down to a group of about 12 riders left in this.
Well, 12 riders left, Matt, and around 1K still to go. So this is absolutely anybody's game at the moment. Are we going to see a long attack, or is this going to come to a sprint on the line?
Well, I think it is going to come to a breakaway. I do not think we are going to get 2 or 3 riders come together at the finish for the win. We might do a little bit further back, but this is the running. Now we are hitting breakaway Bray. This is the run for the line here. Now, who's got it? Who's got the kick? Little bit of a dig there that came, I think, there. And a sneaky ghost move. It was Dale Williams who put the ghost in there. He's ghosted his way out there. Emma's kicking her so she didn't get in quick enough. It's a ghost from Williams. He's gone early. Has he caught them all asleep? They're yawning. They're not coming after him. It's not going to be quick enough if they don't keep on. Come on, Dale. Come on. This is where you've got to push. They're coming at him. And Crawley and Co are coming. It's going to come down to the final sprint, and it's Booker. Booker goes over the top. He takes the win. It's Booker from Williams, Mazzoni, Crawley, Oxenham. It's Miller Vossi. It's going to be Oliver. Mr. Mason comes in and through. Then it's going to be Lindley. Next rider in. Emma, take him in. I'm shattered.
So from Lindley to Davis to Lloyd to Evans, it is absolutely thick and fast through the finish line at the moment. Downing's through, Dench's through, Nunn's through, Dawkins, Simon Warren is through, Jimmy Mack, Crosscast Neil from Gritty is through, Elliott is through, Yates is in there as well.
Well, Yates is crawling up here. Look at this.
Absolutely crawling through the line.
Well done,
and I
buddy.
tell you what, Adams is trying to jump him on the finish, but he's not going to make it. So Yates is going to come through the line next. And we're going to see Adams. Then we've got McDermott and Norman coming through.
The final kick here on the way in. This is tough stuff here. So it's going to be Adams, then it's going to be McDermott, then we're going to see Cameron Norman pay the price for labouring all day.
That was
Great
the first Chaingang, wasn't it?
That's a baptism of fire as you come in to the finish. I tell you now, next group coming in. How was your first Chaingang? Brutal. Here we go. Let's have a look who's going to take this out here. It is going to be Richardson, just rolling Booth on the line. Then it's Bolton comes through in from the Stellaton. Tom Hagger comes in. Russ putting up what a route. I quite agree. Starkey, Samuel, Harper, Wilson, main bar. Then it's going to be Tunnicliffe. So Wayne Barr goes through. And it's going to be Ted Tunnicliffe. It's going to be chased all the way to the line by Mr. Hyde. Well, everyone's saying what a route. I have to say, I absolutely love that. It is, for me, it kind of sums up what Zwift is all about. It is not real life. It's not like Scotland. Do you know what? Does anybody really care?
No.
No, because not at all. Is it like a cross between Disney and some mad computer game? Yes, it is, and that's what we love about it. That's what works for it. And it is very, very raceable. Absolutely crazy stuff. Wow, now Hine goes in. Big sprint, Hine, Gale, Langme, Forbes, Vin Donahoe, Lowe, Raccoon, Ball, Run It. Tracy comes through. Seeley doing another job. The Terminator in action. Dixon, Rodney, Craig Forrester. It's going to be more. Chris Canham, Rab on his way to the line there. He's being chased by Sadler, who's not going to get onto the wheels of Rab. Then it's going to be Sadler. Then it's going to be Zach Hutchison. Good to have you on board, Zach, once again. The great course, a great ride, great finish. Paul Coleman going to be heading this little group at the moment, coming in. Group. Who's your money on this uphill sprint here? I tell you something, Sean Ferran can sprint, so can Little. Come on, Daisy, don't let him have this.
Up, 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 up. Go on, Daisy.
Now, this is it. This is the run for the finish. Look, Daisy sat down there, nearly 6 watts per kilo.
Up, up,
She's going to
up.
spin away up, but look, the kick is coming behind. That's the finish line coming. Who's going to get it? Ferran is pushing. Ferran's going for this. Is he going to make it? I tell you what, he's I think I heard his legs explode from here in front. That was how tough that was going in. John Garford, Mr. Wallace Shaw, Carl Johnson in, Paul Coleman coming in, Foxy our Beacon just going to get robbed by Greg Passon on the line there. Bobby Mason comes through with Dr. D. You could see Rowan coming back into form as well. Marco Berrio chasing Andy Keyworth. And then it is going to be Jimmy Allen. Jimmy, good ride today, sitting just ahead of Nick Rudkin. Then it's going to be John Finney. Finney on his way up over the top of the crest. Going to be ahead of Kai Hurt. Kai coming in to the finish here in Scotland. Good to see Kai back on the Chaingang. Nice set of shades, mate, there as well. So here we go. Oh, we have issues. Show stuck on the YouTube map. I hate to think how long that's been rolling for on there.
Interesting.
We will soon find out. When we go look back, we might have called a finish that nobody could see. That will be very unhelpful on the way through. Not quite sure how it's jammed on there. Shouldn't do. Since the Group 1 finish. Interesting. Thanks, guys. Thank goodness somebody told us. Right, let's try and work our way up to our finishers. It's going to take a little bit of doing because we've got lots of riders all out and around the course here. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a little bit of a sneaky run here, and we're going to go backwards up the route here. So here we go. The run over, going to take a left turn down here. I suspect Mr. Finney has finished. Hutchinson's finished. I tell you what, because of this route, it is very tricky to work your way back up from the riders. Keith Hayward, where are you, Keith? Are you on your way into the finish? I suspect you are, which means that Keith Richards is on his way in. Mark Grant is on his way. Here we go. Going to make our way back to the finish. So, Callum Craig. Oh, tell you what, Callum Craig just stayed clear.
He noticed that, didn't he? Just in time.
Good job as well. So, it's going to be Mark Grant, Callum Craig going through then. I think it's going to be the run through. And this is where it gets tricky because we just dropped back from Callum. And it's picking up some of our riders on the way through. We are going to try going back with the riders on our map. So it is going to be Mark Grant who's come through. Keith Richards potentially could be our next rider coming in to the finish. I think he is.
Yeah, he is indeed. And Rich is just pushing on up that small climb towards the finish to be our next rider in.
He is fantastic stuff. So great course, great group to ride with. The comments coming in thick and fast. Fantastic to see. Well, a cracking finish, a cracking ride. Keith Richards goes on to the climb to the finish. Behind him, Keith Hayward is not all that far behind, you know. 16 seconds separating them as they come up on to this part of the course. So Keith Hayward on his way up, not all that far behind him.
I tell you what, I am loving where people have been watching the Donny Chaingang from today. Michael Clark's been watching in Gran Canaria.
Nice.
Yeah.
Warmer than here, that's for sure.
Tim Baggs is watching it from Calpe.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's seen a lot of the Velographic.
I'm not sure that we really need to know that it's been 28 degrees in Gran Canaria today.
Oh, I bet. Very nice.
But good to see that people are tuning in from around the globe.
Indeed. So, Keith Richards, our next finisher. Then it's going to be Keith Hayward immediately behind. Good course, like that course. Rode well. Very interesting sprint in there. And, Emma, you've got a team time trial on here, is it?
Yes, so not next Tuesday. A week next Tuesday.
Well, not you personally
Not
riding,
me personally.
but
I am
be
DSing the time trial, but I'm so pleased I've joined you in commentary today to actually watch that and watch how that raced, because Scotland, not really many team time trials have been done on the course before, so looking forward to that. But this, I have to say, I think this course is going to be quite a tricky team time trial to manage.
It is. You're going to have the right riders in the right place at the right time, taking the draft at the right moments, and resting before certain climb sections as well. Going to be really interesting to see what tactics are used by those teams in the ride.
Yeah. Interesting, though, a lot of the climbs, the gradient is not too steep, so actually the draft still works up to about 3 to 4%. So it's only when it goes over that level that actually the formation is an issue.
And I think on here, those climbs that are over that are actually quite short.
They are. They are really short.
So you can really roll over if you move well. Great riding by Mr. Woodward in and through the finish. And I think our next rider turning left is going to be Mr. Turner. So Turner, the next rider on the way up and through. I think Greg Pillsworth and Claire Jessup just behind. So Turner on the way up in to the summit. So whilst I gesticulate wildly at Emma about me managing to leave it on the Velo Viewer screen, I'm not even sure how it went on the Velo Viewer screen. Maybe some of those Scottish fairies.
It's a gremlin. Nessie did it.
Anyone from Scotland, please? It was Nessie. Nessie flicked it with a tail.
Nessie did it.
I'll tell you what, it'd be a long tail to reach down here some miles away.
Well, Nessie's definitely not an inflatable diplodocus.
No, Nessie's real.
How could you possibly even think that she wasn't?
Because I'm quite a cynical soul at heart.
Oh, you just got to believe in a little bit of fairy lore.
Sorry, I got a cold. Yeah, it's all that. All the dust off the side of the barn. Right. So Turner on his way in to the finish for Summit. Mr. Booker taking the front of the race for Summit CC. And teammate Turner here on the climb in to the finish. Got currently 12 seconds on our red beacon. As comes in and through. So good riding by Turner. And that means we're going to drop across to Claire Jessup, who is on the way in to the finishing climb here. Claire is making her way up the climb here. And great riding by Claire on the gang once again. Our red beacon last week on the WoW DCG and riding last night as well. So Claire in the company of our red beacon and two red beacons together.
Yeah, they are indeed. And look at that, Claire just pushing on a little bit there to go past Greg and to go underneath that banner first. So Claire Jessup and our red beacon now in and through.
And saying thanks to our red beacon. So a massive thank you to Greg Pillsworth, our red beacon today, doing an amazing job out there on the course. Now, as he starts to make his way in and around, we're going to do a little bit of magic up on the screens. And as if by magic, I might actually be able to see which screen you're looking at and where and how. And in fact, do you know what we've done? Me getting excited and banging on the commentary desk has dislodged the camera. That is how excited we got. Emma, it was an absolute cracker of a finish there. And I think an enjoyable route.
Oh, I think the route was absolutely fabulous. And after that go from Russ, our yellow beacon, that was a really great watch, let alone a great ride.
It was. And don't forget, if you want to join us, jump on the gang, get registered. Make sure you go on. Great routes coming up next week. We have Tuesday is the Open Chaingang. We got WoW DCG Wednesday, Open Chaingang Thursday. If you want to jump on and go on to the website, go on the Facebook page for the Donny Chaingang. Give Russ a follow as well, Fonzie Downing and Downing Cycling. Now, we are done for Chaingang and for Zwift. For this week, we have 2 days with no broadcast. Astounding. However, it means that we're going to be... Emma's having a little party over there. We are going to be busy doing our homework for the Sunday Race Club. You can go on to our feeds to find out about that. Emma, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me at Biking Emma, or of course you can find us both at Full Speed Events.
And you can find me at Matt Fakes a Pain. So please make sure you give us a follow. Jump on, catch up with what else we're doing from the worlds of esports right the way in and across loads of different disciplines. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. From me, from Russ, from Emma, from Greg, our red beacon, from everybody here on the month. Stay safe. We will see you again soon. Goodbye.